Hi guys, Rita here. Welcome to my YouTube channel where I review African literature. For my video today, I am going to be reviewing two books which I read a few months ago. Because last month I really didn't read. Which month are we in? We're in June. May. Did I? I tried to read one book but I couldn't, so I DNF'd it. But these are like from 2 months ago, so I thought I would talk about them rather than, not talk about any book anyway. So these are books that I read in the month of March, and last month I didn't read much. Which month was last month? Which month are we? May. Yeah, last month was May. I didn't read much because I started crocheting, so that's been taking much of my time. And I've been enjoying it because I was thinking, I don't have a hobby, what can I do as a hobby? Because I really don't consider reading as a hobby. It's more of a lifestyle at this point. So I started crocheting and I love it. I enjoy it, and as someone who likes giving thoughtful gifts to my family and friends, I thought I might as well start making my gifts. They're not rubbish, by the way. I know people are like, oh my gosh, handmade, but no, they're actually good. So I'll show you, this is a cardigan that I'm making for my sister. So this is the so I'm just gonna touch it like this. It stretches, so there's a lot of room there. I'm just gonna close it up here, and then I attach it to the back. I'm making the other and then I'll make the front because I'm just a beginner. I literally started like less than a month ago, so I'm still very, very fresh at it. But it's actually a very fun and very easy hobby. Even though I'm still struggling with the magic ring, but yeah, I know I'll do it because I thought the same when I started crocheting. Oh my gosh, it was very funny. I remember my mom was laughing at me because I literally learned from YouTube. I was watching YouTube videos, but I was just determined that I'm going to do it. And yeah, I'm making a cardigan for my sister and also making another one for myself. I made a hat for my brother, and then I think I'm gonna make a top for my cousin. My mom wants a dress, but that's gonna take, I don't know, it's gonna take a while because I'm still a beginner, and yeah, I'm just giving my whole family like one off. I'm gonna make them one thing, and then afterwards they'll be paying, even though it's just a hobby. But oh well, if they want something, they gotta pay, okay? Because yarn is not cheap, okay? I thought books were expensive, but yarn, my gosh. Anyway, number one, I'm gonna start talking about this book first. So this is The Three of Us, and this is by Agbaje-Williams. I hope I say that correctly. And it's a story about 3 people, the 3 of us, and it's set in one day. So all these pages, this is one day, over the course of one day. And it's about a friend, Temi, who was the best friend of the wife and who hates her husband. So we only know of Temi's name. We don't know about the wife's name or the husband's name. I don't think we're told the names, if I'm not mistaken. But it's more of trying to understand why exactly they don't like each other. And the ending is quite devastating. But I don't want to spoil the whole book for you. So I'll just tell you what stood out for me and what I learned. And what I enjoyed, what I picked up rather. There's a very toxic friendship dynamic happening between Temi and her friend, who's the wife. And it's that Temi, she's so used to control. She comes from a very rich family, affluent family. She's always had her whole life, and she's been the only girl in the family. So she has a very different perspective from her family, and at the same time we can't understand why. Because why she's against marriage, because she's strongly against marriage, and it's mostly because of how her mother brought up her brothers and the difference. It was just too much. And then when she grew up, she was just like, I don't think I want to get married because of how I saw my mom treating my brothers and how she was treating me, and the whole dynamic of marriage she doesn't fancy it. So so she's surprised when her best friend gets married, because they'd made a pact that it was just going to be the 2 of them together. They were never going to get married. They were just going to enjoy their lives. But then the friend, I would just call her the wife, or just call her wife, that'll be her name, I guess. She ends up getting married to this guy who she loves, it seems, and she is trying to fit more into his plans, which is opposite the plans they had before. So at first glance I was just like, okay, she's getting married, okay, she's now friends with her husband, and they're closer than the best friend. I understand that when you're married, well, I'm not married, but I have a friend who's married. Her relationship with her husband is completely different from her relationship with me. She's with her husband, they're like one, if I should say, and then there's the friend. But with Temi, it was very hard for her to understand that why is this guy in the picture now, like all of a sudden acting brand new. You just knew this guy, you just started knowing this guy like 2 years ago. I've been in your life for a very long time. So for me, it was very hard for me to see it from her side how she couldn't understand that her friend is married. But as I read more, it was more of how she felt lonely, because in her family she was the odd one out, and then she was clinging on to a friend because she's the only one who understood her and is the only one who tolerated her, and she kind of had control over her. So when she felt like she was losing her to her husband, I think she kind of freaked out, like, oh my gosh. So she hated and she projected towards the husband. The husband, the thing is, he wasn't docile. I wouldn't say he's docile, but he was just, I don't know, like all of them, there's something wrong with all of them. All three of them, there's just something wrong with all of them. So there's a very toxic friendship dynamic between the wife and Temi, and it seems like the wife can't stand up to a friend, and she can't also defend her husband. She can't stand up to her husband, she can't also defend her friend. It's just like she just smiles things over, she just laughs. She never really says anything to say, oh guys, you're going a bit too far, or guys, that's wrong, or anything. No, she doesn't say that. She just laughs things over. And then there is also the dynamic of marriage. They had a pretty good marriage. The husband, he was, I think he worked an office job, a very good office job. I think they would be having like 8-figure job or something. They were getting, so they're very rich. Like money is nothing to them. They're literally renovating the house, and the reason why they're renovating the house, you will not believe it, but I will leave you to read the reason why the husband decided to renovate the house. I think it was very petty, but oh well, I guess it's the bag which was talking, but either way, so the marriage is quite, you'd say it's quite of the normal marriage, the day-to-day marriage that you see every day, but it's just that the friend, when she comes to the mix, now everything is just, they're not getting along very well. They're not, there's just friction when the friend comes. There's also the husband, I would say, was very patient. He was very patient for my liking. If I were the husband, I would have said something like a long time ago. I would have been like, yo, this is my house. I don't understand who you're talking to like that in my house. Okay. That would have been me if I were the husband. But yeah, he was very patient. He was a very patient guy, but he was petty at the same time, because they kind of had that thing going on. Because at first when I was reading, I was thinking, are they in love with each other? But they were not. They actually hated each other, like pure hatred. And then the wife, she was quite passive, because there were things that the friend would say that she'd be like, oh my gosh, why would you say that? But the wife would just laugh or not say anything, or just drink her wine and look the other way. It was so tense, like the tension in that. When I was reading it, I was just on the seat of my chair. I was just like, oh my gosh, is someone going to like throw a punch or something? But yeah, it was quite good. I hope the lighting, because I'm outside, the lighting is a bit weird. I hope you guys can see me. If not, I hope you can hear me. I think that's all that matters, to be honest. But then there was also controlling issues and pettiness, and yeah, I think I'm not on Temi's team, because she was a bit too much. She was a bit too much for me. And as I said, like, when people are married, as the single friend, or if you're the single friend, or the friend who was the best friend, who's not, no longer the most important person, I think it takes a bit of adjusting. But for Temi, I think it was very, very difficult, and she made it difficult for a friend. But at the same time, the friend, she was just passive about it. She didn't say anything, she didn't complain, she didn't try to defend her husband. She never stood up for herself to both of them, never did. And she would try to make amends by trying to bring a husband a drink, but then the friend, she would do the most absurd thing. She knew she was not supposed to do something, then she'd go ahead and do it. And they were trying to get pregnant, but the friend wasn't happy that they're trying to get pregnant, because they'd made a pact that, ill kids. So when she found out, she then started hinting to the husband that, oh, the reason why you're not getting pregnant is probably because she's taking birth control. Like, she was just all over the place. Like, I did not enjoy her at all. I did not like her. But I think the tension was good, because as a reader, it kind of made you think, and you know, you're at the edge of your seat. And I really like the writing, because it's like from each point of view, so it's in first person from each point of view, so you can understand where they're coming from and the thought process. So I think I rated this 4 on Storygraph, because I've been using Storygraph. I think it was a 4 if I'm not mistaken. It was at 3.75. I think it's a 3.75 because I was just annoyed by how exactly they were going about it. Like, why were you stressing me out? Like, the last book that stressed me was the middle child, and I was the middle daughter, and I literally jumped into this. I think I was just setting myself up for failure. And before the middle daughter, I read Tomorrow I Become a Woman, so I think I was doomed to, you know, fail. But yeah, that's my mini review of this book. And the reason why I didn't touch too much on it, because I don't want to spoil it, because I think I tend to talk too much and spoil books, but I'm trying not to. So yeah, that's my review of this book. Next book will be Dazzling. So Dazzling by Chikodili Emelumadu. She actually sent this to me. I'm very grateful for that. And it was one book that I really enjoyed. I didn't put it down. Number one, it's African mythology. So if you watch like old Nigerian movies, like from long ago, like with the Patience Ozoko, I think that's the name. These are the vibes. These are the vibes. They're people turning into things that you'd never think. They are spirits, they are ghosts, there's just a lot. And I really loved it, because it really brought back all the memories when I used to watch those African movies. Was it on ZBC around 10 p.m. on a Saturday? And my cousins and I would sit down, would watch the African movie, and they would freak us out so much we were not able to sleep. So it kind of had that feeling, and I really enjoyed this book. So this book, I'll read the synopsis, of course. So Treasure, one of the characters, and her mother lost everything when Treasure's daddy died. Haggling for scraps in the market, Treasure meets a spirit who promises to bring her father back, but she has to complete a monstrous task for him first. By the way, I am recovering from a cold, so my voice is a bit hoarse and raspy, so sorry. Ozomena has an itch in the middle of her back that can't be scratched, an itch that tells of her great and terrible destiny, secretly passed down through generations to defend her people by becoming a leopard. Her father impressed upon her that what an honor this was before he vanished, but it's one she couldn't want less. But as the two girls reckon with this wilderness and legacy of their father's decisions, Ozomena's fellow students at a new boarding school start to vanish. Treasure and Ozomena will face frightening choices as they are drawn into battle with sinister forces, and it's a fight they can't both survive. So this book, I really, like I said, I really enjoyed it. And the ending, oh my god, I've not had like a plot twist like that in a very long time. I did not see it coming. You know, with some books you can see a plot twist coming, but with this one, I tell you, I did not see it coming. And I remember when I read the plot twist, I had to go back a few pages. I was like, how did I not see it until I saw it? And it was so subtle. If you're not paying attention, you would miss it. I think this is the greatest plot twist I've read in a very long time. I think the last greatest plot twist I read was like Stay With Me, when I found out that Akin was actually sending his brother to sleep with his wife. But that's a story for another day. I'm still angry about that. But the plot twist in this book, my gosh, I really I was taken aback. I think I had to put it back. I had to put it down first and really think, wow. And the writer in me was just like, oh my gosh, how do I learn the art to do this kind of plot twist? But yeah, this book is amazing. African mythology. We have two girls. Treasure, out of desperation because her father died. They used to be very rich. And I think the father was doing something, you know, like in the spirit world, like the juju and stuff, if I'm not mistaken. He dies and then they become dead poor. Like, she has to scour for food. She has to go to the market and, you know, to try and find food. And she had to stop going to school and all of that. And out of desperation, she meets a spirit in the market, and the spirit makes a deal with her. Yes, she has to bring him like 3 spirit wives for her to bring her dad back, because all she wants is a dad. Hi guys, again, sorry, my phone overheated. I'd forgotten that little flaw about summer, so I'll be very quick. Yeah, spiritual wives, spirits eating intestines, spirits floating, people turning into leopards, people dying. Obviously it's bound to happen. What else happens? Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry I did not do this video justice, because my phone is overheating and literally turned off, so I don't want that to happen again. But I highly recommend this book. I'll try and do a more detailed review of it on TikTok, shorter but more detailed. But other than that, thank you so much you guys for watching this video. I know it's been a while since I've uploaded, since it's summer, and my PMDD seems to respond more to summer. I'll probably be doing more. I'm excited about that. Summer is my favorite season, and I'm currently reading this book here. It's called The Lion's Den, and it's by a Zambian lawyer and author Iris Mwanza. I went to the book launch. It was amazing. Met some amazing people there, and I think I'll be doing a review of it very soon. I'm going to try and just do back-to-back videos, not wait monthly. I'll just do, you know, when I finish a book, then I'll do a review, because I think it works better that way. And I'm also reading Drinking from Graveyard Wells by Yvette Lisa Ndlovu, who's a Zimbabwean author. Super excited about that. But other than that, thank you so much for watching. Sorry I had to finish this way, but my phone is overheating. Have an amazing day, have a blessed day, and bye.